Instagram SEO is so overlooked and underrated, but it's so important in increasing your chances of getting more reach and getting discovered by new people on Instagram. So let's break down what Instagram SEO is and how you can use it to your advantage.
So SEO, if you don't know, stands for search engine optimization. It's basically been the primary way for organic discoverability on the internet since the dawn of time. Through search engines, obviously, were the main way that it was used. And of course, it has always been a part of the social platforms from the beginning, but of late, it's become a lot more prevalent. Fun fact, the second largest search engine in the world is YouTube.
Which might be how you found this video.
Exactly right. So the idea now that Instagram has taken search, the user behaviors have changed over time. So instead of going directly to a search engine, a lot of the times users are just searching within the app, regardless. We're talking about Instagram today, but regardless of what it is, people search in Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn and Pinterest, etc. So of course, Instagram has, and all the platforms have ramped up those SEO features. It has always been a part of it, but recently there's been a whole bunch of new features that Instagram have brought in to kind of give us a nice little suite of SEO friendly ways to kind of boost your discoverability within Instagram. So let's get into it.
Okay, so the first one is your captions. That is a great place for you to include keyword rich, keyword rich. I like to say it because it's, we want to pump it. It needs to make sense, but we want to pump your Instagram caption full of words that will let Instagram know what the content is about and who to serve it to.
Yes.
And it's more important than ever now because captions and the keywords from those captions now appear in Instagram search, following what Craig was saying before. So having that means when I'm typing in something specific to a topic, your post might come up if you've really created it and crafted it in a way that lets Instagram know what it's about. So no more of the vague captions. If your post is about how to grow on Instagram, you need to put in Instagram growth tips. I'll teach you how to grow on Instagram. All the things that let Instagram know what the post is about.
Exactly, in some shape or form.
Yeah.
So it's an there used to be like a black hat way.
So not the sketchy way.
Keyword
I'm just
stuffing,
saying those are the words, not keyword stuffing.
It's using the words. And here's the interesting thing about this one. I used to work for a bank in Australia, and that's when I was introduced to SEO. This was 2007. And what I had to do, part of my job was going to the various business divisions or whatever of the bank and figuring out, so bank people use a lot of jargon and a lot of industries use jargon. And the funny thing is there's always a bit of a disconnect. The actual end user doesn't always use those words when searching for your product. So I had to figure out with the individuals, like in private banking for like wealth management and stuff, like what words do your clients use and what words do you use, and let's see how we can change your content to accurately reflect that. So keep that in mind. The jargon is always a bit of a hump to get over sometimes, and maybe you're like super niche followers might or people who are interested in that might know, but if you want to broaden that reach a bit, try and use the words that people actually use to search for things.
And I think that's great. One really great tool that we actually use for our YouTube videos as well is Keywords Everywhere. I'll drop it in the description box for you, and Dan will put it up here. But that's great, and actually, it's a plugin for Google, and it will actually show you what people are searching for when your topic is there. So they'll give you what's the question regular people ask? What's the question that people ask? Not like the industry professional using the big words. So that could be super helpful.
The next SEO friendly part of Instagram is your profile name. Now, I believe we've mentioned this numerous times throughout various videos here. So if you're not familiar, is there a video that we have that we can point to? There probably is.
Yeah,
I'm just going to point to them there and we'll slap one in.
Or how to create the perfect Instagram bio.
That's the best one. There we go. Now, at the very top of your Instagram bio, there is a bold section which people typically use for their name, their business name, whatever it may be. That section is, if I'm not mistaken, the OG SEO friendly.
I think so.
It is, right?
Yeah.
Section of Instagram. So for a quick example, you want to put your business name would be great to have in there, but also maybe what your niche is, what your industry is. So if people are using those search terms. So for example, ours says social media with high season code. The reason it only says that is we do have a 30 character limit.
I believe so, yeah.
Yes, double check that. If we're wrong, we'll pop it up on the screen. But you are limited in characters there, but it is highly, highly searchable. So if you're able to put your industry or, Toronto medical esthetician, I shouldn't have said that word. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a tough one.
It's a tough one. You're like, of all the words, photographer.
Right? That would have been about that. Yeah. Wasn't thinking. But yeah, that's what we would highly recommend that you do that. Like, use that to describe what you are. So photographer is the best one because it's often location based. So Toronto photographer and your name. That would be an optimal situation. So don't let that space go to waste.
The other way to increase your discoverability with SEO so you can increase your reach is by using hashtags. We know, listen, hashtags ain't going nowhere, okay? They still work, and they are actually another one of the originals that helped Instagram qualify or understand what a post was about.
Yes.
So we have a full in-depth video about how many hashtags you should be using when you're using hashtags and what are the best hashtags that work. A quick on our recommendation is if you can use up to 30 hashtags, use 30 hashtags and make sure that you are not using too many broad hashtags. So don't be out there with just like hashtag Canada, hashtag
Love.
America, love, okay? Or no follow for follow, none of that. That's actually just more like junk keywords. So you want to be really specific and be very careful that you're not using anything banned or too broad. Otherwise, it'll be harder for people to follow you. So embrace the niche or the niche, as some of our American friends say, and make sure that you're using the right hashtags for you, and check out that video for sure.
Yeah, that'll explain exactly how to get down and do it without going into detail here because it is a bit lengthy. But it's very important, create one for each different content category to make sure that you are being very accurate about what you're using for hashtags so that the right followers come to your account. And then the next section on Instagram that is a little newer, it's probably a couple of years old now, alt text. Yeah. So alt text is something that we used to do on SEO for search engines. And that was specifically, I believe, maybe some folks here can correct me if I'm wrong, but it was created to help vision impaired people understand what a particular image is. So it'd be girl sitting under a tree reading a book type of thing. Mm-hmm. And this was even pre-Google Images. It was just so it would help for when they do the screen reading on a website, it would actually read out what the image is so that someone who wasn't able to see was able to still interact with the internet. Then, of course, as Google Images came in, that became a more important element of it, and people were physically searching for images a lot. I do it all the time. And, of course, now within Instagram in the last year or two, they brought that in. So when you're about to post, there's the advanced option. So if you hit that, you'll be able to find alt text. And what that is, it's the exact same concept where you can just write whatever it is you're posting a picture of, write that. Once again, as Tiff mentioned earlier with the captions, keyword rich, use the keywords that people would actually search for. Mm-hmm. So you could probably want to slide in a few more, don't approach it as simple as the old school search engine way. Approach it in maybe a more descriptive sense. Tell
the story of your image, and that's actually from another perspective, not just the SEO. When we're talking about accessibility and making sure that your content's accessible, you're painting a better picture for somebody who might not be able to visually see it. The other one is topics. So this is a newer entry into the Instagram SEO world. And this was like a very much surefire way of like letting Instagram tell everybody that search matters to them. Because now they've added topics. What it allows you to do is add up to 3 topics for a post. That's currently, it could expand. And right now the topics are a bit more, broader. A bit more generic, a bit broader than what I anticipate that they will be down the line. But it specifically says at the top of the topics page, like, hey, this is going to help people search and discover your content, something to that effect. Yeah. So that just really shows how much they're looking for information from you, from us, about what your content is so that they can serve it to the right people so people stay on the platform longer. And that is the point of it all, always, for every social platform, to get people to stay on the app longer and choose it over another app.
That's basically it. It's really cool when you sort of look at these 5 different areas sort of in a macro view here. It's interesting how much Instagram has changed and how much they've adapted for that. Like, they've changed the way their search works entirely to be able to pick up captions, keywords and captions, and now they've got topics where they're categorizing you even more, and then they can also, the way they feed things via the algorithm depends on who follows and who follows you. There's so many different areas within this is actually a good thing for all of us.
100%.
There's more and more ways to be categorized and for people to find you. So all you really need to do is just do all of these things and just consider them all. And it's, you know, the name in the profile is one time and you have to worry about it. Alt text, you know, and captions obviously every time. Topics is very brief in comparison. So they're not, I guess what I'm trying to say, they're not difficult to do. It might seem a little overwhelming, but they're all actually quite simple. And hashtags, of course, in every one, but you should already have those pre-prepared. So there's really not that much you have to do to get yourself found and discovered a lot more on the platform.
100%. I was just thinking, like, we look like a cooking show in a way, but like without the cooking.
Should we cook something?
I feel like we should like make something. We're about to make coffee, so I guess that, well, he's about to make coffee, I'm about to watch, but I'm very excited for that. Anyway, so that's all for today. Thank you so much for coming back to watch another video. Highly recommend that you watch this video that will be popping up here for you, because that'll help you continue to thrive on Instagram. If you liked this video, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe below, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any other videos from us. You can follow us everywhere at High Season Co. and check out our website, highseasonco.com, our blog and our shop. Tons of great stuff over there. We will see you in the next video.
Peace.
Bye.